Last time on Wanderlust.
She doesn't actually know when her birthday is. And so Juliet has precisely calculated that it is close to the day that she first came to Smoky Banks. And so that's like the new day.
You know what? Everyone go ahead and make me a stealth roll. And then you hear the door open and shut. And you hear like some rustling, you know.
Mal, is that you?
She goes, "Have you been taken hostage?"
No.
I don't know what it does, but I'll use it.
Happy birthday.
Surprise!
You.
Is there anything you wish to tell us that might calm the nerves of those people that believe we are lost forever?
I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. Let me first say that. But I have reason to believe that there might be a possibility of finding a way to get home.
I believe your popularity is waning in the town. I understand probably amongst the people that you speak to, that is not the case. Matthew is very popular, the people that follow him are well liked, but there are others who grow frustrated.
He's back in his human form, and he visited me at my shop. And he seemed to indicate that I might have some kind of hard choice to make for everybody, and I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea that I might have to choose without people's input.
What if we could only pick one or the other?
I think what she's saying is it's all or nothing. Either the whole town goes or the whole town stays.
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
Because I need some advice. So,
Okay.
This wasn't my initial plan. But should I propose to Willow before or we leave or after we get back?
I think you do it tonight.
Really? Oh, okay.
Fred, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you gotta do it now.
I'm just saying, whatever happens to her while you're off here, like, having this little fantasy adventure is going to be your fault, because you're the reason she's still here. Autumn, you're standing outside of your and Willow's little bungalow.
Oh, fuck, I forgot this.
You've heard your sister Aurora and Willow arguing inside. You're here to propose. What do you do?
I'm gonna walk in the door.
As soon as you walk in...
Did I solve the puzzle?
Sometimes courage is the solution. You walk in, and both of them immediately stop talking and just kind of, like, stare at you awkwardly.
Don't let me interrupt. I think you were in the middle of something, Aurora.
Normally, I would say it would be better for you to not eavesdrop on my private conversations, but I understand maybe you didn't have a choice, so I'll try to be generous about that. I was merely trying to impart my sincere hope that your intention is not to stay here just because you made a friend while you were here. Because you do have a family back home that does not think you should stay here.
Well, you know, my family's also trying to actively get me kicked out of this town since you kind of took over the town council and I'm still trying to be gotten rid of by them. So, you know, maybe what you want isn't high on my priority list.
Okay. I am sorry if we gave the impression that our intention was to ever kick you or your little friends out of town. That's not the point. The point simply is that we wish to impress upon you and your friends that the goal should not be to learn how to live here. And when she says that, she kind of stares at Willow pretty pointedly. Even if some of us are comfortable living in a little fantasy world where we get to suddenly be a lot more important.
I mean, I think Willow's pretty important before. She has the town announcements. She communicated with all the other Urg.
Sure.
But beyond that, some of us aren't positive we can get home, including the 4 people you are sending off into the wilderness to find a way home.
I'm not looking for certainty. I'm looking for that to be the effort, and more importantly, Autumn, for you to not get caught up in this notion that what you should do is stay here.
Well, you haven't given me any reason to want to come home.
I would hope that you want to come home for more reasons than just me, your sister, that got stuck in this place trying to get you back from it.
I mean, if you stay here, I'd want to go home a lot more.
I understand that you're upset because of what was said at the meeting, and that when you get mad, you make rash and impulsive decisions, like, I'm gonna leave and just leave a note and start living in a little backwater town. I'm gonna, start dating someone out here and ignore my old life back home. I get it. You make big choices when you're feeling a certain way, but this is not a time for you to make big choices just because you're feeling flighty, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. As your sister that cares about you, you should make big choices when you're, stable, and you have time to think about it, and you're not just off the cuff doing something that you're later going to regret.
I do have regrets with coming to Smoky Banks. It's mainly that I feel like I should have talked to you guys before I did it and not just left a note. But I have not regretted a single thing or person I have met since I have been here.
Somewhere Lance is, rolled over and is like, I feel like I finally won her over.
And I wouldn't say I was upset that at the meeting. I was annoyed. We're all annoyed that you guys are phrasing things at the very least poorly enough that we think we have to do this or we're kicked out again. I'm upset that you're berating someone I care about so that you can control my life again.
Not trying to control.
So, if you don't mind, there's the door. I'll be fine. I'm making good decisions. And if you don't want me to be rash and heroic, I guess I can just sit here and my friends will probably stay back because if I'm not going, they'll probably be worried why I'm not going. So we can just sit here and learn to survive all together.
I will get going. As she stands up, she goes, Willow, think about what I said. I hope that you can be the rational one of the two of you. Just a thought, because you should know your girlfriend doesn't excel at that. And Willow just stares at her as Aurora, stands up and leaves.
You need to pick better house guests. After she leaves.
I would say, 1, I did not pick my house guest. She was elected to the town council, and I can't exactly tell her that we can't talk. And 2, you're kind of with the whole family when you're with someone, so I have to make do with what the baggage you come with.
Well, I was hoping to leave that particular baggage at home, so to speak, but here we are.
It tends to follow you, yeah.
So, how you feeling? That seemed pretty intense.
Oh,
How often does this happen, actually? Does this happen frequently?
That I argue with your sister nearly every day. That I argue with your sister about you much less frequently.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Arguing with my sister is also kind of talking with her. She's one of those people who thinks every conversation, every interaction is something you can win.
She's good at winning them, yeah. Yeah, it's fine, though.
She is. And, I love her, but also, yeah, I think the more you get to see her, the more you're wow, Autumn running away doesn't seem as irrational, right?
Look, your sister has points that she is making. Some of them are fair. And she is of benefit to the town, even if she is irritating. She does accomplish goals, even if she's a pain in the neck while she is doing it, so whatever. I'm fine working with your sister, and I'm fine if occasionally she needs to yell at someone because she has an impulsive sister that she's worried about. I do understand where that is coming from. But...
yeah, I just wish you'd yell at someone who isn't the person I care about most.
Honestly, in terms of bad things that have happened to me, getting yelled at by your grumpy sister, that's fine. I can take that one.
Better or worse than being a tree?
Better, yeah. Any conversation's better than being a tree.
So, is her browbeating you changing your mind on what we want to do, or are we still sticking it out here?
I think maybe the reality of the situation for me is I can't leave if people from Smoky Banks are staying here. If everyone from Smoky Banks decided all at once they wanted to return back to Novathea and live there and abandon this place and everything that it has done, I would probably leave. But I don't think Moll's going to leave. I don't think she can. I don't think Matthew's going to leave. And there's plenty of other people that are not intending upon going anywhere. And I feel responsible for those people and want to still be a part of their lives more than I want to return to Novathea, a place that, quite frankly, for me, was always about as small as Smoky Banks. I don't have family other places that I'm waiting to get back to. I don't have another community that I'm trying to get back to. This is my home, and it's here. If all the people left, I would follow them. But unless that's the case, I want to stay here and keep helping them. So, no, probably my thoughts on what to do have not changed. I just also don't want to constantly be the reason, and I'll say your sister's right on this, I don't want to constantly be the reason that you're almost dying.
I don't think you're the reason I'm almost dying. That's from some deep-seated insecurity, if I'm being honest, and also the fact that we need someone to go into the wilds. Like, not you specifically, but the town.
I understand that. But you wouldn't be here doing that if it wasn't for me, probably. So that's sort of where your sister's not wrong.
What is community without sacrifice, though?
Yeah, but there's okay, I get, there's you climbing into a burning building, and there's you being in a place with monsters.
I don't know if I've told you this before, but I've come much, if we ignore dying and being reincarnated, or whatever, reconstituted, I don't think about that too hard. I came closer to dying in a burning building than I've ever come out here.
Just out of game, your GM is you straight up basically died out here.
Right, that's why she hedged it. What I'm saying is, I am not someone who runs away from danger. And yes, there are literal monsters out there now, but also, I almost died at home.
Yeah.
Burning buildings are dangerous, and there was a time where I got trapped under a burning beam and I almost died. There's a reason I don't like tight spaces anymore.
It seems stupid, but I don't... I don't really want to suggest that you should be any other way, and I also don't want to pretend like I'm not staying here because I want to. That at some point is it. And I think your sister's going to blame me for that, and I think she's not entirely wrong to do so. But I'm also not going to break up with you, so, that's now on you to explain to your sister why you're staying here.
That's fair. I don't want to pretend that you're not a reason I'm saying, but to me it feels the same way how you felt with helping take over the town council, I think. Me getting kicked out of town was not the only reason you did it, but it wasn't not a reason. You know what I mean?
I had many reasons. You were one of them.
Exactly. Before we were fully dating, I went out into the wilds twice to save people I did not really know. So do you really think you're the only reason I'm here?
No, but honestly, no. I really don't. And I think your sister doesn't either, but I think it's a lot easier to blame me. So that's what she is going to do, and I don't exactly blame her for that. So, yeah.
Well, if that's the case, I do have something I want to talk to you about before I leave.
Okay.
And I know this is a bad time after everything that's happened today, but I don't feel like I could go into the wilds again, especially with what we're doing, without giving you this. And she pulls out like a necklace with a ring on it. I don't want to go back to Novathea without you. And specifically, I want to stay with you. I want to grow old with you while we fight monsters and keep this town running. You are the moon I want to always crash into every night. You are my sunrise every morning. And you're the annoying voice that crackles when I'm just about to fall asleep to make sure that I'm okay when I'm in the wilderness. And I know you've been busy, and making a ring might have not been in the time you had, since we've been really swamped with keeping this town alive, and it's fine if you don't have one, but I want to let you know that even if I am reckless and run into danger, I'm always going to come and run home when I'm done.
She kind of like sits and just kind of like sighs, and she like gets up, goes into like your bedroom, and you hear like some rustling. She comes back out with a little box and opens it, and inside of it there's also a ring that she has made. It's made of wood. And she goes, so this was I made this after the whole tree thing, and was just kind of waiting for us to settle some things. And then there was the incident with the coup, and I was unsure if that was going to be okay. And then there was the issue with us not wanting to stay, or if we should stay, and so I still wasn't sure. But I am very mad that you clearly took the time to write up something very lovely to say to me, and I made you a wooden ring a long time ago and then thought you were mad at me, so I'm sorry, but I love you, and I want to stay here with you, and I'm glad you're willing to do that, and I'm worried about you, but I'm also glad that you're a person that I can rely on to help the town and to always be there for me and to make stupid decisions that I'll then have to get you out of, and to have a family that's annoying that I'm going to have to deal with for a long time, maybe. So please go on your adventure, send your sister home, and she can just visit on holidays, maybe. That's the ideal. And she gives you the ring.
I think for holidays, we'll probably have to visit them.
We'll talk about an alternating policy. It's fine. And she like jumps into your arms and kisses you. Oh, and then she goes, oh, wait. And then she like runs over and pulls out like a copy of that thing that she made for Kaylin that can record and play voices. She's like, I recorded a song. And she hits play. I don't have a speech. I have a song. It's a really pretty song. And she like plays a song that she likes. And yeah, jumps back into your arm and starts kissing you again.
End scene.
Aww.
Smash cut to 4 weeks from now. No. Okay, so any other...
We finally leave to find the place.
On a macheteing through the wilderness.
Are there any other, like, burning to-dos that people want to do before they leave? So currently, Lance is coming with you. You talk to him about that. You have the boat saddled up and ready to go. Is there anything else?
Right, we're boating halfway and then going the rest of the way on foot.
You're boating halfway and then walking the rest of the way, yeah, once you get to the point where the boat's no longer usable.
Cool. Are we... We're not stopping by Echo Base for any reason, right? We don't have a reason to?
No, if anything, you have a reason not to. Echo Base currently...
Okay.
You guys sort of, like, almost blew up Echo Base and then left, and now, like, it's sort of up to Willow to go, handle that.
Patch that up. Sorry, Willow.
You know that part where she said you guys get into dangerous problems and have me bail you out? This is one of those situations.
In this case, all things being fair, I think Matthew's bailing you out, but that's okay.
Okay, cool. I'm fine with avoiding Echo Base. I couldn't remember if there was something that's like, oh, by the way, you guys have to deal with this. I fully had forgotten.
No, Is there anyone else that you want to talk to about coming with you? Anyone else that you're bringing? Any special items that you want to declare besides food that is coming with you?
I don't think so. Let me check my status sheet. I want to say that I have, like, book 3 of Mitchell's story.
That's fine.
I had talked about maybe bringing things that are sentimental in case that we're, like, willing to part with, in case that's required.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can, okay, now I'm gonna make you guys say, what's your sentimental thing?
Oh, God. Thanks, Caitlin.
I think it could be useful to have in mind.
This is sort of like you're giving me a Chekhov's gun. Like, I can't very well have you guys bring sentimental objects that'd be like, turns out those were useless.
You can. They're easy to forget about. You just stuff them in your backpack and don't think about them. You know what I mean?
I have mine whenever you're ready.
I have mine too.
If it isn't Willow's ring, I'm going to be really offended. Anyways, we're going down the list in chat order. Cat Lion first.
You know, I said this and then started looking through my thing, and
Mandy MJ first.
So I guess it would technically be 2 things. I still have my my goddess token.
Okay, yeah.
That has just come with me on everything. And I know I was more explicit in, like, the very first arc, but she's still, like, has it and probably is, like, you know, dealing with not having the moons there anymore, so it's confusing, but, like, it's still a significant part of her, like, life, and so she still has her goddess token. And then I'm gonna say I have, I have said that I've had this before, but I have something cooked or put together from Matthew.
Oh, okay.
Previously I've said, like, it was like a spice packet, but maybe this time it's like a pre-prepped, like, here's something you can have out there.
I mean, I don't know when canonically these things are going to be released, but his Christmas gift to you was a bunch of spices and herbs and stuff. So
the Christmas one has been out for a while.
Okay.
So sure, I have all his Christmas present packets.
I mean, I said I had Mitchell's volume 3, so I'm assuming, you know, that's 2 volumes after the one he gave me.
I'm gonna say I have some poetry that Ruben lent me.
Okay.
And Fred has, and this has actually been on my character sheet since day 1, and it hasn't come up yet. Fred has a deck of cards. He hasn't had much opportunity to play with them out here in Smoky Banks, but they're...
Oh my gosh, that was the boob cards!
Oh yeah, the boob.
Do you remember this, Vinny?
No.
Where you were, like, telling, like, a saucy joke to crew hands below deck, and you dealt the cards in a way that looked like boobs, and I was like, what does that mean?
I don't remember this.
And then Caitlin sent a picture of it. If you scroll back far enough in Wanderlust, there are titties made out of playing cards.
Well, those, then.
Vinny's playing cards.
I'm gonna have to go find this now, because
They're normal playing cards. They were just arranged in a saucy way.
I'm so glad that came back.
Ooh, boy, it all comes full circle.
With a dot in the middle.
It's not a dot, it's a playing card. Who wants a square rectangular nipple? It's insanity.
Autumn is bringing her favorite pulp novel and some prayer chalk.
Oh, okay.
Rosa Riviera and
I think it was the... what's the Exula one I came up with?
The Hand of Exula?
I don't think...
The Ark of Exula?
I don't remember.
I'm just saying things to jog your memory.
Rosa Riviera and the Search for Exula's Chisel.
Zula's Chisel. Nice.
Pretty good.
All right.
I spent a lot of time coming up with these at the beginning of the game because I was going to, like, quote them a lot, and then I never did.
So you gotta pack them all in here at the last arc.
Another really good one is I have The Secret of the Moonstones.
Ooh.
The Chasm of Whispers. Anyway, I'll leave the other ones in case they come up, but...
All right. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so before we go, I don't This does not need to be a scene.
You know it's going to be a scene.
Which is obviously going to be a scene now that I've said that. You know what? No. I'm going to make this so this isn't a scene. I think she leaves a note for Mitchell on his nightstand, just saying, like, you know, the usual kind of like, please take care of Matthew. Like, you've been doing amazing out with the Spiralics, and I know, obviously, I can trust you to take care of things here. I really wish you were coming with me, because I don't know if I'm coming back. And I'm going to miss you a lot if I don't.
She's going to put that in a note?
Yes, because I don't want to have a scene, but also that seems important to say. And Estella's not good at confronting these things.
Autumn just learned her lesson about not putting important things in notes.
That's going to be Wanderlust 2 Electric Boogaloo. It's going to start with Estelle leaving a note.
So
I have a nice snuggly evening with Maul. I'm not leaving a note.
No, this is like as we're leaving, you know, in the morning.
Oh, okay. I see.
So all of you make your way down to the boat, you know, in kind of like the gray morning. It's misty. The smell of kind of swampy water is all around you, and there's like the sort of soft morning cackling and chatter of animals moving through the trees around you. As you all load in and start to depart, Matthew actually comes with on a separate boat that's like full of people from Smoky Banks. He is going to Echo Base to talk with them and try to smooth things over and impart to them that they should not try to retaliate or ever capture people from Smoky Banks again.
Hats off to Matthew.
So, you know, the initial journey down the river is a little bit more raucous, as there's like young people on a boat all like laughing and like maybe playing music, talking. It's a little bit louder. But as you initially leave Smoky Banks and are like kind of looking back at your town that's been planted here, it is very apparent how quickly it has like grown into the landscape. There isn't like this strong dividing wall anymore that's separating the wilds from Smoky Banks. That wall is largely crumbled, and you've not had the resources constantly to repair it as much as you've tried. Plant life has grown over it. The herds of Spiralics are now well outside of town, and you can actually see them kind of like hopping around through the forest. And as much as it is maybe it's the right way to put it, an odd sight to see your town looking so shockingly different from the outside as you're sailing away from it, it does also not look out of place anymore. It doesn't seem like something that was just dropped here. It seems like something that has become a part of this place. As you slowly start, you know, making your way upriver with the little solar motors purring along and using poles to guide the boat.
Does the river cut through a forest?
Yeah, you're in a forest now, yeah.
Okay. Every half hour, Juliet wants to make sure to, like, touch a tree specifically that's, like, hanging over the river, because she, like, had a long conversation with Maul about, like, testing her range, and, like, because she said she could sense her.
Oh, interesting.
And so Juliet's like, great, I'm gonna see, like, every 30 minutes, I'm gonna try this, like, see how far you sense me and like when that runs out, you know?
Like after, let's say like 4 hours, your radio that's on the boat crackles and you hear Willow's voice. Juliet, Maul would like me to tell you that getting poked every 30 minutes is eventually annoying. She just wants you to know that. She appreciates it. She loves you. You don't have to poke her every 30 minutes.
But I thought it would be useful to know the extension of her range. Obviously, we talked about this.
I told her you would say that.
Okay, well, I can switch to every 2 hours.
But will the samples be as good if you do that? You've changing the time scale on the middle. Like, that doesn't seem very scientific, Juliet.
Juliet just glares at her.
She gives you a grin.
Willow, you can tell your girlfriend that she's being entirely too cheeky.
Doesn't help.
I mean, she's actually right, though. It doesn't seem like a good idea to change the time scale midway through an experiment. Shut up, Maul! I don't care if it's a little bit annoying. It makes sense, and I actually want to know how far the range is. It would be useful information. Keep doing it every 30 minutes. She's complaining about nothing. As you make your way up the river and then eventually dock the boat and then start making your way up, I need to look at the map. Sorry, hang on 1 second. So basically, where you stop is at the foot of the mountains, and that maybe takes a day and a half to get all the way up there. You know, you're like moving pretty quickly since you're using a boat and it's running under power like the whole time. Eventually you see Matthew's group of people separate off and start making their way towards Echo Base. As you continue up, right where you stop at the foot of the mountains, where you have to like get off and start making your way on foot north to where on the map it's marked at the heart of the forest is, you hit a section that is not really forested. It's like plains, so it's like just rolling hills and like sort of, maybe ankle-high scrubby grass that you start making your way across. It's a little bit higher, so it's not swampy anymore, and it's actually fairly easy going. And somewhere around here is the first place where you have to make your camp. And like when you do, you're maybe at like top of a hill, you're looking out still to the north, and you can actually see far off to the north where there is like the beginnings of another forest, and in the center of that is where is marked on the map that the heart of the forest is. So Lance is at this campfire, like I said, and Guffey, and then the four of you. Are you guys keeping watch for the night, or what's your plan there?
I think we should keep watch.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? I am going to do a rule here. We're going to randomize this a little bit.
Especially because we have so many of us. We may as well, take shifts.
Yeah.
The thing is, if the GM ever asks you if you're taking watch, the answer is yes. Because if you answer no, that means something bad's about to really happen.
You're so negative about me, Zach.
It's not you, it's in general. I didn't say Cody, I said the DM.
All right. Watch order. Who's going first?
I can go first, since I'm at the top of the screen.
All right, go for it. Roll me some kind of noticing perception-y check.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, both Caitlin and Mandy said we could go first.
Oh, sorry. I actually didn't realize I thought that was like some weird echo. You guys sounded like exactly the same when you said that.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure. I don't care who's going first. I just wanted to make sure that we were still picking up.
Everyone's doing watches, so, it just depends on what you notice.
I got a 5.
Okay. That's good. Sorry. Whew, I was in D&D land for a second.
It's really good, yeah.
As you start your watch, you look out over this field, and you can see these, like, little lights glowing over all the, like, low grass that's spread out. It's, like, kind of like a gold color as it, like, just, waves on over rolling hills. You can see these little lights floating up from them, and they start kind of, like, popping up all around you, these little lights flitting around, almost looking like brighter fireflies. And as one of them gets closer, you can kind of see in the firelight and in the, it's just dusk now, that it's like these little, they look sort of mammalian to you, and they're not exactly flying so much as they're like hopping from little thing and then like kite flying down as they like burst with light. And those are just dancing everywhere as you see like occasionally like a fox jumping out of the grass and snapping at them. You kind of like watch this scene play out as one of them like lands on your hand, and you can like kind of, when you look at it, you feel a little bit like confused, like the flashing is a lot, and it's dazzling to stare at as you look. And other than that, not a lot happens unless there's anything else you want to investigate.
Do these feel like similar to the stuff that's near Smoky Banks?
In what way?
I guess I'm trying to decide, like, does this feel like fauna from an entirely different world, like imported in the way like Smoky Banks or Lance's town are imported in? Or does it feel like similar to the other stuff in Limbo that we found?
Make me a science check of some sort.
Plant identification.
Research, I would say. Investigate and research are the same for me.
Research works, yeah.
2.
They're not the same, but they're also in a very different ecosystem here. They're not living in a forest, so you wouldn't expect them to be the same.
Okay.
They're as different as a mammal that largely lives in the plains is from a mammal that is meant to live in forests, you know.
I don't think I have anything, unless somebody has a brilliant idea.
All right. Who has the next watch?
Mandy.
Yep, I'll take the next one.
Okay.
You want me to use Danger Sense?
Danger Sense works, yeah.
+3.
All right. As you look out, the kind of dancing lights had just faded out by the time you woke up, and it gets very quiet. The moon that is here is climbing in the sky, and you can see a little bit from that, but like your eyes are very dazzled by the firelight around you, so there isn't all that much that you can see. And you start feeling like your mind is playing tricks on you as you see shadows dancing in the grass all around you. You'd swear at times that you can see, like, the grass moving not with the wind. Like, it's already a thing that when you look out over, like, a waving field of grass, you see a lot of movement, and that can kind of mess with your eyes a little bit. But you'd swear you can see, like, a swirl and a swish moving closer and closer to you. What do you do?
Is Guffy noticing it at all?
Oh, interesting question. Guffy seems alert, but not yet growling. If anything, he's, like, excited. Does that make sense?
He's excited.
Mm-hmm.
Think I'm gonna go off Guffy's cues and assume that it is, like, not something coming to, like, harm us necessarily, but I'm gonna keep a closer eye on that.
Okay. So as you look out, you see Guffy kind of like getting noticeably more and more and more excited, like his tail's starting to wag. He kind of like gets up and starts pacing and looking. And again, this is not, he's giving you no signs of aggression or anger, just like interest as he's like noticeably vibrating. And then all of a sudden he leaps into the darkness and you hear a thump as he lands on something.
Does that something react?
Not yet.
Estelle's gonna kind of like, without trying to wake everyone up yet. Guffy! What did you find?
You hear a familiar voice to you, but one that you have not heard in years, speak from the grass. Can you get this darn dog off of me? You recognize the voice as Otis's, the veterinarian who you came to Smoky Banks to replace.
I don't think that was his voice.
It wasn't, but Lord knows I can't remember it. That's Otis's voice now.
Estelle will, she's gonna scramble to her feet and go over to Guffy. Is it actually...
So when you
Otis?
get over to Guffy, you see a figure stand from the grass. As he does, you can see almost chameleon-like his skin shifting like color and hue to match the grass and then the stars above him, making him, even when you like know where to look and stare at, really difficult to look and stare at because he almost perfectly blends in to his surroundings. Once he stands, though, that like facade melts away to like Otis, but with maybe a much larger and wilder beard, long, gray, kind of crazy hair, and rough clothes, kind of looms out of the grass and walks up to you. You are far afield, kid.
Dr. Rees, it's good to see you in person and again. How did you find us?
I've gotten quite good at finding people, especially when they start wandering through my beaten territory. I tend to know.
This may seem like a strange question, but I feel like I spoke with you a couple months ago.
Yeah, when you broke the rock, yeah.
Okay, so that was actually us speaking.
Of course. I just sound different now when I'm not through a rock. He comes over and, like... It's canonical. He comes over and sits by the fire and, like, starts rustling in his sleeves and pulls out, like, what is definitely one of those weird little squirrels that you saw, like, jumping around, like, a few of them, and, like, slides them onto a stick and starts cooking them over the fire.
Okay, so the last time we spoke, you were telling me about the heart of the forest, and that's kind of what we're aiming for now. Are we still heading in the right direction?
I'm assuming you stole my map and read my journals to be headed this direction at all.
I don't know if stole is the right word. You kind of left your whole office to the next veterinarian.
Well, I left my whole office. I didn't know. It's okay. I'm not mad about it. But yes, you're headed in the right direction. But I guess I'm curious as to what your plan is. I don't know if you're wanting to become a me.
Do you have a theory to what you are right now?
Well, kid, let me tell you what I did was retire. I found a way to see and find new and wonderful things, and I did not much care the risk. I just committed to it. And, not sure there's really a going back for me, but by the looks of you, you've already changed quite a bit since the last time I saw you.
I think at this point, if you were interested in going back to Smoky Banks, there's enough of us that have had to go through some kind of change that you would be welcomed back. But I kind of sense that's not what you're interested in.
No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is that, like, what I wanted was to get away from everything. I was bored. I was no longer really felt any purpose in what I was doing. I had kind of become a little bit mundane, so I found adventure. And I don't mean to stop doing that until it decides I have to stop doing it. You, on the other hand, I don't get the sense that what you want to do is get lost for all eternity. So what's the plan?
Well, based off of the entries in your journal and kind of what we spoke about, I've had a theory that it's possible for us to use the heart of the forest to get back to Novathea. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm looking to get back, but there are a lot of... I guess I should first say that Smoky Banks the whole place is here.
I know. It's bad.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that are profoundly uncomfortable with that. And if there is a way to help them get home, we would like to do that, if it's possible.
Well, kid, let me tell you this. This is all I know from... I found a means of travel. I can tell you where you can go to get more lost than you are now, to start shuffling through all manners of wilderness connected to all manner of places. So, let me say this. Guidance in that, a torch to carry you through a dark forest, and a beacon to bring you back home, I think might be possible. Likely it's where you'll find yourself when you start looking. You'll be drawn to places that might be able to give you a means of movement through the wilds. But I don't know what the side effect of that will be. For you, for Smoky Banks, for anyone else that manages to find their way through or to find something that lets them. So, be warned, as much as I love finding any kind of madness and interest and adventure, not everywhere I've been is nice. As he says that, he pulls his skewer back up and, takes a bite of squirrel. This squirrel is good, though. And it does this, and he smiles and his teeth are glowing.
Oh, all right. Well, that's an interesting... What is that from?
Oh, they're luminescent when they fly around, and if you leave that in there when you cook them and then eat them, it gets on your teeth.
Estelle said that with all of the practice of a mom whose kid has shown them something 5 million times.
I think Estelle and I have something in common. So, okay, yes, I imagine that not every place is like Novathea, and we've certainly had our fair share of running across odd and varying civilizations while out here in the wilds. You mentioned change from going through the heart of the forest. Is that what happened to you with the skin thing, or was that part of the trial? There's been a lot of things making changes.
I think some of those are inevitable if you start dancing around through these places. No, what I mean to say is that I've been to a place or two that when you start traversing through whatever, I don't know the way to call it, you saw me when you broke that rock, right? You saw me dive into like a spring and disappear.
Yes.
That leads many places. Some of them are easier to find than others. And I believe that you could make Smoky Banks one of those easy-to-find places. But then understand, it becomes an easy-to-find place.
Okay.
So
the more we go through it, the more
things might find their way to you. If you become a place that can be found in the wilds, you become a thing that wild things might find.
Well, is that Novathea? Or would that be this, I don't know what to call this part of the wilds that all of these civilizations have been sucked into other than purgatory? But is it that this, where we are now, this purgatory would be more easily found? Or Novathea would be more easily found? Or do you know?
It depends on where whatever you find ends up. I've never found a means of making this beacon, of putting a place on the map, but if you do, I think wherever you put it will be a place that can be found. Does that make sense? If that's here, then that's here. If that's Novathea, then that's Novathea.
Well, that does present an interesting issue.
I thought so.
Okay, well, I guess something to keep in mind and discuss with everyone else before we get going in the morning. So is this a social visit, or are you moving on?
No, well, I'm certainly not sticking around. I think this is your task, and I want no part of it. I want to be lost. So my intention is to go back and find another place that I've never found before, and then keep doing that. But I saw you all walking through this field and thought I might stop by and say hello to an old friend. And he scratches Guffy behind the ears and goes, and of course it was nice to see you too.
Well, okay, here's a question. Were you did you just happen to be in the heart of the forest that's here in this purgatory, or did you see us and while you were there, like in the heart, and picked out coming here, or how did that work?
I have gained a little bit of a talent for moving through odd places, and do have a certain awareness of particularly this place around the spring that you saw me in, and was aware that you were getting closer. I also was aware you would probably find my book and try to follow me, so I was, keeping an eye in case you did.
But that means you were able to pinpoint it here.
I was, yes.
So this plane has become easier for you to find because you know about it.
Yes.
Are there any other planes any places that you've done that to other than here?
I haven't found Novathea again, and I think this is sort of where you end up if you get lost. So there's also that. Like, I do think this is kind of like a dumping ground of the lost. What I'm saying is this is kind of like the bottom of the well. It's easy to find.
Okay. How do you find it? Is it just a feeling?
I think it's something you'll experience soon.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to give you spoilers.
No, why would you want to do that? That might be helpful.
I'm wounded.
Well, I do appreciate the heads up for most of it.
You are so welcome. I would like to think of myself as helpful. And it is also good to see you again. I'm glad that you came to Smoky Banks and that you took over my office. Alright, who's taking the next watch?
Again.
Cool, you wake up. You see an old, crazy-looking man sitting by the fire eating squirrels.
With Estelle, or just...
Well, yeah, I guess Estelle probably would have had to wake you up. You know?
Yeah, Estelle will come and shake Autumn by the shoulder. It's a time for your watch. Don't freak out. This is Dr. Rees. This is my mentor, the one who got lost before I came and was the vet in town before I showed up. He is just dropping by to give us a little bit of what we're heading into. A little bit of information for what we're heading into.
All right.
Yeah, Estelle goes to bed.
When Estelle goes to bed, he looks up at you and goes, I'm Otis. Hi, you don't have to call me Dr. Rees.
Should I call you Dr. Otis instead?
Sure, that's fine.
So what can I do for you, Otis?
I was just here to see Estelle. She, like I said, we knew each other from way back. And, you all seem like you're about to delve into a new world, and it's exciting.
How far back do you know Estelle?
When she was just a little, really when she was in her mother, like forever. I've known her forever.
And were you close with their family?
Pretty close, pretty close.
So you have embarrassing stories of her then?
Do you want to hear a story about rodents?
I want to hear a story about Estelle, and I'll give you some chocolate for my bag. I'm sure wandering in the wilderness, you have not had chocolate in a very long time.
He just kind of, sighs and goes, well, the thing is, she adopted pets. And the night goes on with him telling stories about, all the animals that Estelle brought back.
Adorable.
How weird of animals did Estelle bring back, Mandy?
Let's say it's like the equivalent of bringing back, snakes and rats. People aren't keeping these in their home. There are people that do that, but it's much rarer than, a cat or a dog.
Did she have the raccoon equivalent once where she's like, I love him?
Oh, yeah. There's, a flying squirrel in there somewhere.
So cute.
I was imagining her, bringing back a frog, and it's well, he needs his own little pond, and she, dug up, the kitchen garden next to her house to, make her own little swamp for him, and...
Very much that.
All right, Fred, it is your watch. You awaken to see Otis sitting by the fire. Hi, I'm Otis.
Hi there, Otis.
He's nice, have fun. Autumn passes out.
Okay.
I was the vet before Estelle. I'm the one, she saw me jump. You're following my map. You've read my journal, I think.
Okay. I think I understand.
And who are you?
I'm Fred.
It's nice to meet you, Fred.
It's nice to meet you. I'm a blacksmith. I kind of been set up shop in Smoky Banks and making stuff.
Oh, why did you come to Smoky Banks of all places. I get why I was here. It was a weird little town full of weird little animals, but why does a blacksmith come to Smoky Banks?
Oh, I just needed to get away from what I was doing, and the Smoky Banks is about as far away as you can get. And then
well, hey, you're further now.
And then we even came. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You beat me to it.
Well, I hope that you don't regret your choice to come to Smoky Banks.
Oh, not at all. I made some great friends and family, and it's been good. Weird, but good.
Yeah, that was why I stayed originally, was mostly the weird stuff, which I guess kind of led us to here, and all of this, which I am still deeply fascinated by.
So what brings you to us side out here? Like, how'd you find us out here?
Well, it's sort of a place that I'm aware of, and I knew that you guys might have found my journals, and that Estelle might be coming this way, so I've kept an eye out just in case she ever did. And am happy that you are all kind of traipsing along after me in some ways. I'm glad that you found my journals and found them useful and hopefully helpful to all of you. But, that being said, I don't know whom to trust this with, and I feel bad giving it to Estelle, and you seem the oldest, and I myself am a person blessed with experience, and therefore tend to trust the elderly. Not that you're like elder. I'm gonna stop digging the hole for myself. And, he reaches into, like, his pack and draws out this little, like, it sort of, like, looks like a, what would be the right shape to describe it as? It looks like a large pendant with 3 chunks of it missing, basically, and hands it to you. I told Estelle that what you're going to find when you start wandering into the world is that there are things that are easy to find, that can draw you in, that can put you on the map. And if your goal is to get back to Novathea, I think you're going to need to be able to understand your way through the wilderness once you start walking through it. You'll understand what I mean when you get there. I understand this sounds weird. But I have been to many places that have been made worse by doing this, and I don't have all the answers for what that means or how you might handle it, but I found this, and I thought it might be helpful to you. I believe it can contain things that you might find, but... And he kind of just, like, stares up at the night sky that's slowly beginning to change to dawn. Ultimately, someone's going to have to choose whether to bring this thing back, whether to bury it, destroy it, hide it away, give it to someone else, make it someone else's problem. And I'm not saying that should be your decision to make alone. What I'm saying is that there are bells that cannot be unrung, and I'm unsure if you're going to have the luxury of consulting everyone who might have stakes in it. That is to say that all of Smoky Banks is not coming with you on this journey. It's just the 4 of you. So... Well,
I mean, at least that's part of one mystery solved, and the whole other can of worms opened. I'd been given kind of a vague impression that I was going to have to make some kind of decision, and it sounds like that this is part of it.
I'm guessing so, yeah. I will say an advantage of advancing years that maybe someday you'll get to enjoy is I'm not making that choice anymore, and I don't want to. Anyways, good luck. I'm seeing my way out of being responsible for things.
Well, thank you, I guess.
He stands up and goes, "Oh, it's more of a curse than a blessing. I'm gonna go find dragons now and look at them," and he wanders off. And as he does, you see him sort of like his skin changes, and he becomes very difficult to see as you just see a little disturbance moving through the grass.
Well, that was weird.
So does Lance have a watch? Did we give him the night off?
Oh gosh darn it, I totally forgot Lance was there. Lance just sits up and he looks at you and he goes, "I'm older than you. I just moisturize."
How old is Lance?
Well, in my years or in your years?
Both. I'm curious now.
Yeah, I guess both.
I'm 7.
Okay, and I'll use then.
I have no idea. I don't know how long it takes for your sun to orbit or what a day is.
How long does it take your sun to orbit?
Well, what do you mean, how long does it take?
Like, for your planet to go around your sun, how long does it take?
We divide one rotation around the sun into 4 what's called quadranoxes, and then inside of the quadranoxes, we have evenly divided, well, we call them, the best word for it is seasons, but they're not seasons like you think of them. And then one rotation of our planet, right, like that would be what you would call a day, but our days are weird because the moon is much brighter. So there's a 4-step of day, night, night, day, and day, night. And then that repeats. So in each I don't know, okay, about 700 day-nights cycles per year, but I don't know how long it takes for your planet to rotate.
Would you say that the day-night cycle is similar to how long we are awake and asleep in the wilds, or has it not changed? Has it gotten longer, shorter?
Do you guys just sleep every night?
Yeah, we don't have... Well, actually,
what about when the moon's out? You just go to sleep?
Yeah, people usually we're awake when one moon's up, but that's usually the dusk or dawn, you know?
I mean, our planet has a lot of moons.
What if you get tired during the day?
You take a nap.
What about day-night? You just sleep during day-night?
How bright are your moons?
Bright. That's day-night.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's just like, we have 2 suns and a lot of moons, and we don't have day-night.
How do you ever sleep?
Oh, good. I think we're all awake.
Juliet, just be asleep, Juliet. Kaylin, you can keep this going on.
Did somebody say moons?
No, I think we can map this out. I guess, no, if I say a second, like, you might not use a second. Man, this is tough.
Okay, well, I have something we might want to actually talk about other than we can try to math this out on the way to the hut if that's something that we really want to math out. Is Juliet actually awake?
Yeah, all of you can be awake.
Okay, cool. Juliet, I think, unless, Fred, did you meet Dr. Rees?
Yes. Yeah, he and I had a lovely conversation.
Okay, so yeah, I think Juliet and, well, I guess Autumn and Fred are the only other ones who met Dr. Rees. He showed up at the campfire last night and was able to give me a little bit of an idea of what we're heading into.
Oh,
he just told me about your childhood, Estelle.
Okay.
Sir Hopsalot is the cutest frog name I've heard.
You know, 8-year-olds can't be very creative, if we're being honest.
I wasn't judging. I wanted to name... Oh, what did I want to... I don't...
The best frog name is actually Hopscotch, but that's okay.
Hopscotch is a pretty good frog name. We're getting distracted.
Lance said that.
I know. So apparently, there might be an issue where if we can find Novathea, that we may be creating a way for other places and other things to find it, and other things might be able to get there if we find it and make it a popular stop through the heart.
I suppose that makes sense. An open door is an open door.
Yeah, that's basically what we would be doing if we find it.
A counterpoint, though, that was already happening near when Smoky Banks is in on Novathea, there were things coming out of the wilds that couldn't be explained.
I think it was already happening, but it wasn't as, it was more randomized than what it could be, from what I understand.
All right.
And Dr. East also gave me this, and he pulls out the thing that I gave him. And you know how I mentioned before that Ash had visited me and indicated I might have to make a choice about something? Well, Dr. East kind of said something very similar, that this thing is going to be involved in some kind of choice. Fred explains everything that Dr. Reese said, because I can't remember.
You don't want to repeat it all verbatim? It's really fun. It's great podcasting to repeat everything 4 times.
What is that artifact?
What is it?
Yeah, is it something about it could contain something?
Is that right, Cody?
This thing looks like it is meant to contain pieces. He did say there's 3 spots missing from it. He did say that there is, like...
Did he explain what contain means?
Not as explicitly. Both, he does not truly know exactly, but he is aware that when traversing through this thing that he found, there were, like, easier to find places that were linked to certain objects, and those could be contained.
So we're, like, finding artifacts that you can, like, put into the GPS and, like, get back there.
You don't yet know all these answers.
Okay.
It feels like we're making a magic compass, is the vibe I get.
Yeah, I got, yeah.
But remember what he said about like, some bells can't be unrung? Like, kind of like you said with the, like, opening a door. Once the door is open, I think it stays open. Whatever that means for this thing, I don't understand, but I guess I'm just saying we might want to be careful.
That's fair. Good advice for everything out here.
Well, he did say that finding his way back to this plane was easier because it's kind of like hitting the bottom, so we can always give it a try, and I guess hopefully we'll be able to find our way back here pretty easily.
That's good, because I kind of want to end up back here when we're all said and done.
Oh, is that what the top one is? Is here?
We don't know.
Okay.
He just said, when he was talking to me, he said that, because I asked him how he was keeping track of me, and us walking towards the heart. And he said it was easier to find his way back to this one.
Right, this place, like, more places lead to here. It was the bottom of the well.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's a relief that we can get back to here. I wouldn't want to be separated from it entirely.
Well, shall we get a move on for the day?
Let's go. Do you have a Rosa Riviera quote, Autumn?
I do not.
I was teeing you up and everything. That was
Yeah, you gotta give me way more effort if it's like if I'm gonna have a Rosa Riviera quote.
Alright, so the rest of the walk to this place marked on the map that was shown as a heart, right, on this map by Otis, is pretty easy. It's just kind of like walking through this kind of like gold field, or, you know, like plains, you know, these sort of like rolling plains. And eventually you get to the start of another forest. This one, as you enter it, feels older. The trees are all very, like, wide and beginning to decay. There's tumbled stones all around, growing over with moss, and little rivers and creeks running through these moss-covered stones. The undergrowth has largely died because there's very little light in here. And as you walk, you can feel a beating, like this rhythmic kind of thump, 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 almost like a heartbeat. The closer you get to this fountain, the more that beating becomes, like, almost loud in your ears. You can, like, feel it in your chest, like a percussive thing. And eventually you find yourself in that place that only Estelle has seen. It's a pile of rocks, maybe like 7-8 feet tall, and you can see water bubbling from it and pouring down into a little pool. This, Estelle, is where you saw Otis step into, right, and disappear. This little meadow, or not really meadow's not the right word. This clearing here is dappled with just a little bit of sunlight, with the water in the pool kind of like shimmering reflectively, and then trailing off into a stream and out. And that loud beating is like now almost auditory. Feel like you can hear it all around you. This just low thumping like a heartbeat as you stare up at this little spring.
Is this the right spot, Estelle? It feels important.
Yeah, it looks like where I spoke with Dr. Rees in the... I guess it's not a dream, but in the vision, I guess. The way that I saw him interact with this space was he just dove right into the spring. So, I think that's what we might be doing.
I vote we hang on to each other. Just so we don't all end up in 5 different places.
I think that's a good call.
I don't like that Cody's laughing at this. This makes me uncomfortable.
Cody, who else came in with us?
Just Lance.
Oh, okay.
And Guffy.
Here's to no wolf gods this time.
Here, here.
Estelle turns and kneels down next to Guffy. I think this might be, it's gonna be hot enough to keep track of the 5 of us going through here, buddy. We'll be back. And she, sets up, food for him, but he's also, he's had to hunt and stuff before, so. And then once Estelle sets up Guffy, she turns around to the rest of the group, holds out a hand. We going in?
Let's go. Juliet takes Estelle's hand.
I grab Juliet's hand.
Grab Autumn's hand.
Let's find Novathea.
As you all walk your way up there and look down into this, bubbling spring.
Estelle grabs Lance.
As soon as you look down into it, it feels like you're looking down into a reflection of the night sky, right? You can see twinkling lights and this sort of cosmic rotation, right? Of all these things swirling and dancing in front of your eyes. And the moment, Estelle, you take a step forward, your foot touches the water, you look over at Guffy and you can see his sad little dog face. And you see one paw stepping forward as you step in, touch the water, and immediately your foot hits soft ground. You're in a forest at night, walking through a path. As you walk through, you become immediately aware of all of the hands clenched behind you. That you're connected to your group still. And as you look out, you see paths winding in every direction. Every step forward is a branch, splitting and splitting and splitting into different forests and different places, into different realities and different times, all stretching out before you. Any step forward is an immediate step in the direction of someplace else, of every place else. But as you look and as you listen, you can see, dim stars, little blinking, beating lights off in the distance, calling to you. Like that heartbeat you heard when you looked into the fountain, you can see them scattered around, these little beating hearts, these blinking lights in this dark, winding forest. And you get to make a choice. You see 3 colors. You see one that is like a rich blue that flashes. In another direction, you see one that is yellow, almost like the yellow of looking at our sun, right? Also flashing. And then the last is red. Which way do you go?
Are you asking me or the group?
Whoever.
Is there one that's closest to the color of Novathea's suns?
Ooh, no.
Okay.
Well, maybe? Ooh, what color are Novathea's suns? I don't actually know.
I thought we had one that was more reddish and one that was more bluish.
Red or blue?
Okay. Let's go blue.
Alright, you start walking. And as soon as you do, every step forward, you can feel that heartbeat, that sound, and that light growing a little bit brighter. The forest around you defines. The ancient trees that stretched all around you and sort of vaguely off in the darkness, slowly solidifying, and then becoming large stone pillars. You can see rock forming over your head. You can feel yourself moving down. You can feel the air becoming cold and sort of sterile and damp as you make your way ever downward, leaving behind a forest, leaving behind all these winding paths until you set your foot on hard stone, looking out over a city buried far underground. All the lights have gone out. The only light that you have here would maybe be from, like, your own torches shining out over, like, skyscrapers, right? Size buildings that you're standing at the top of looking down into. You can see, like, a large road making its way down into this city. And coming up towards you, you see two burning blue eyes moving their way up the path. Thanks for listening to this episode of Wanderlust. Music for this show is credited down below. If you like this campaign, you can find more of our shows at the Wandering Gamer website or on Podbean. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links in the description. Now bear in mind, in the wilds, some wander to get lost, and some wander to find themselves.